Now we're tied at 5 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone to lead off.
His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone has hit a home run. The Yankees go to the World Series for the 39th time in their remarkable history.
That one's drilled deep to left field. There it goes. That ball is gone. See ya. A walk-off two-run home run for Alex Rodriguez.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Bronx Bench Warmers podcast. I'm Charlie.
I'm Max. And we're just two friends having conversations about Yankees baseball, so let's dig in. So Charlie, the Yankees just got done wrapping up series with Texas, Toronto, Chicago. Now we're moving on to Baltimore. And the thing to take away from this, I think, right now is that they're winning series. And when you win series, that puts you in the win column. You know, the wins start adding up. Winning series is a big deal. You start dropping series, you start dropping behind in the standings. And
to win 9 straight series early on, this early in the season, that's pretty impressive, and that's why they're the best team in baseball right now.
They are. They're off to a great start. We're seeing statistics of other teams that have started with the same record that have moved on to win the World Series, and it's too early to start going down that road, but there's definitely, I'm starting to feel like there's a little bit of magic in the air, some late inning drama, especially in the Toronto series, nice little comebacks, Stanton hitting his, 3-run home run to tie it, Judge hitting his first walk-off. It was great to see Judge get his first walk-off home run.
Yeah, it really was, get that under his belt, but I think my biggest thing that I've taken out of all this the last couple weeks is the fact that they're finding ways to win with whatever's not working that night. So, for instance, yesterday, they couldn't hit the ball against the White Sox. They could not hit the ball, and they ended up winning anyways because they scored 3 runs in the first inning by getting on base. Their pitching, Cortez pitched a phenomenal game, 8 innings, 1 earned run, and they found ways to walk. They stole bases. They end up scoring on a wild pitch. It's always... I think that's the first time ever they had less hits than they did runs at one point in the game, and that to me is unbelievable. They're finding ways to win. If their pitching isn't on one game, they'll hit and make up for it. If their hitting's bad, one of their starting pitchers will pitch a spectacular game.
Yeah, it seems like they're just either the defense is picking up the offense or the offense is picking up the defense. Exactly. Every day, it seems like there's something good to take out of every game. It seems so far, and even like IKF making a couple errors in that game, and Cole turned around, looked at him, and said, "I got you," and he got out of the inning, and that was great to see. And I feel like the team itself is really tight. I feel like the team is coming together. I bet the clubhouse right now is just on fire, and they probably feel great after games, and they're really playing as a team. They're picking each other up. I feel like everybody's contributing to. There seems to be, contributions all up and down the line.
I think they're having fun.
Yeah.
They're having fun in the clubhouse. Like you said, they're picking each other up. Everybody has a smile on their face. Even if they're in a slump, they're having a smile on their face, and they're playing baseball. They're enjoying it. And believe it or not, right now is the hardest time to do that early in the season.
You're right. It is, and because you're looking down the barrel of a long season, and you start getting that in your head. And the Yankees were on a stretch now of 25 games in 23 days, I believe. And they're holding it together, and they're playing well, and they're winning series. When you win series, good things happen. You keep yourself in the running for, top of the league, and that's where they are right now. And I think they're on a great path. They got to keep it going. Boone's management style this year seems to be much better. He's always been defensive of his players, but I think he's firing this team up a little bit more, and I think the team's having fun. Last year, I don't think they were having as much fun as they're having right now. I think Boone not having his contract locked in yet, and maybe feeling like, okay, this could be the last year, So I think that they're on the right path. They're on a playoff path.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I really think that at the beginning of the year, like I mentioned in our last podcast, I didn't understand why the Yankees went out and got extra players when they had Torres and LeMahieu. I didn't understand why they got Donaldson. Donaldson will be a key part to this team. He's kind of slumping right now, but he's working his way back, just like, a few of the other players. But at first, I'm like, where are they going to put Torres or where are they going to put LeMahieu? Both guys are making double digits when you're talking millions of dollars, and you're going to have one of those guys sit on the bench. You're going to have DJ LeMahieu. He's won Silver Slugger the last couple of years. You're going to put him on the bench a couple days a week. I didn't understand what they were doing. But now seeing how Boone's trying to figure this out, he's weaving them in and out. He's almost playing every game, and it's giving other people opportunities to rest. He's resting Stanton a day. He's resting Torres a day. He's resting Donaldson. They're all, and I think that's making guys happy. Giving them those extra days of rest early in the season is going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah, I think it will too. But I also don't feel it doesn't feel the same as it did like the last couple of years where guys were getting rest for no reason. I think right now it's more strategic. I think he's doing a good job. He's looking at situations and saying, okay, this guy fits in today or this guy fits in tomorrow. Instead of just last year, it would be like, it felt like they were playing to win a series, and then he's just sitting Judge or Stanton when you need those guys in the lineup.
Yep.
But it doesn't feel like he's doing that right now. I think he's doing it in a more strategic way, which is important, for winning games.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think he's doing a good job, even though I don't give him credit all the time. He's doing a good job at spreading these guys out, giving them rest, and mentally it's really good for the players, especially early on.
Yeah, I think they showed that in the last couple series, and the Chicago series this weekend was a fun one to watch. They exploded for some serious runs there, and with their late inning hits, and it was actually great too to see Joey Gallo hitting this weekend. I felt like Gallo really kind of came around this weekend, a couple home runs.
He did, and I think, like you said earlier in the year, I think right now we focus a lot on him not hitting. But at the end of the year, he's going to have his 35.
Yeah, he's going to have his 35 to 40 homers. He'll have his 75 to 85 RBIs. He's climbing up there now. He's up to 5 homers on the year, and I feel like his at bats have just gotten better. Like he's seeing the ball better.
He walks a lot. I'll give him that. He's good at getting on base, but in my opinion, he's either getting on or he's striking out. When he gets out, he doesn't put the bat on the ball a lot.
No, yeah,
he either strikes out or he gets a home run or a walk.
Yeah,
one of the two.
It definitely seems that way, but I think that the numbers are breaking down though. The numbers are showing that he's actually performing better than what it appears to be on TV.
Exactly.
On paper, his numbers are better than what it appears to be. Joey Gallo is a Major League Baseball player. He's a Major League hitter. I think anybody in the league would take Joey Gallo on their team. And, he's going to come around.
And I think the reason why, too, we focus so much on Gallo is because we have another 7 or 8 phenomenal hitters in the lineup.
That's exactly right.
If you put Joey Gallo on Baltimore, they'd be talking about him nonstop.
Yeah, exactly.
The Yankees have so many good guys that is one reason why I think they could win the World Series this year. It's so scary that just seeing that lineup on paper, and all these guys aren't hitting right now. A good majority are hitting or they're having hot streaks.
Yeah.
Stanton, Gallo have their hot streaks here and there. But if Joey Gallo turns it on and some of these other guys turn it on, it's going to be a scary lineup considering what they're doing now with all their guys not hitting at this point.
Yeah, I think if Donaldson can turn it on to his former MVP self and really start hitting the ball over the wall, and Rizzo got a little cold there for a minute, but if he can start pulling the ball out to right field, the Yankees.
Like he did at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy cow! The Yankees are
he gets on his
winning
streak.
games left and right.
Right now it seems to be Judge and Stanton carrying the team, which has been the thing of the past as well. And they're always going. They're just phenomenal players. They're always going to lead the team in RBIs. They're always going to lead in home runs. They're always going to lead in OPS. That's just the kind of players they are. They're MVPs. They're the kind of guys that take a team to the next level, and that's what they're doing. But sometimes you see them and they're so good that you forget about the rest of the guys in the lineup. But there's always guys on base, and Hicks is taking his walks, and he's got a high on base percentage, and they're playing ball in a different way than they had been in the last couple of years. Torres defensively at second base has been phenomenal.
He has, and that's a major shift for him going from short to second.
Yeah, I think he's more comfortable at second base. At least it seems like it. IKF has had his moments where he kind of, lost the ball, bobbled the ball a little bit. But I think overall,
he's a solid defender.
Yeah,
I'd give him that.
I think
he's come around
upgraded.
hitting. He had a big hit the other night.
Yeah, he did.
Late in the game, they ended up losing that game, but he had a big hit to get on base. But I mean, I think he's been a very good addition to the team. I still think, I would have rather had Sanchez and Pinstripes this year. But Trevino's been good. Higashioka, he had a sac fly the other night, tied the game. He's going to have his moments, but I think when he comes around, they're going to be a better team. He's phenomenal behind the plate. He had some major stops the other night. He's very good. His hitting will come around, but I don't think we should worry about that too much.
I don't think we can. I think defensively, Trevino and Higashioka have been very good. We're definitely lacking in offensive production from the catcher's position, but I think that's something the Yankees knew going into it. They knew that was going to be the case. I think they were hoping for probably a little bit more out of Higashioka. They were thinking he could run into a few more balls and hit a few more home runs.
But now you have Stanton DH, and now you got room for another guy, Gallo, in the outfield. They're making up for Sanchez's numbers last year.
They definitely are, and I think that was what they were looking at in the offseason, was saying, okay, we can make up 30 home runs and 100 RBIs with other players and maybe tighten up the defense a little bit. And I think that's what they were going for. And there's no doubt that Trevino, is a fantastic defensive catcher. And I think he's going to hopefully come around with the bat a little bit, but I think they're getting out of him what they wanted to. And, I mean, I don't think we can deny with the relationship that Trevino and Higashioka have had with the pitching staff so far this year. I mean, the pitching this year is so much better than it's been the last few seasons. And
speaking of Trevino, he just hit a
I think he just hit a home
run a little while ago. He's going to come around, but getting back to our point, so talking about defense, how good is Nestor Cortez this season?
Nestor's a pitcher. Nestor's he's not a thrower, he's a pitcher. And there's a big difference.
His top pitch is 90 miles an hour. I mean, in today's day and age where all the guys care about is gassing one down the middle 100 miles an hour, he doesn't rely on speed.
No.
And guys still can't hit him.
Nestor is a crafty location guy, change speeds, change arm angles, change timing. He's a complete pitcher.
Did you see that bat at the beginning of the game yesterday against Posh, the pitcher from the White Sox?
Yeah.
He led the league in ERA until the Yankee game yesterday, and the first inning, Cortez gets up. He's pitching. He throws one down the middle to no, it wasn't Abreu. It was Roberts.
Oh, okay.
The guy who had to walk off.
Luis Robert.
Yeah, Luis Robert. And he threw that right down the middle. First pitch. Robert fouled it off, and then he was on the mound ready to go. He's speed. That's his other style. He does not let the hitters have time.
Oh, no.
Well, Robert put his hand up, and he was trying to get him to throw him off, and Cortez did not like it. It kept screwing Cortez up.
Yeah.
Eventually, he got him out, but that's what the hitters are going to start doing to Cortez as the season goes on. They're going to try slowing down the at-bat in the box because he's good at trying to move the pitches quick. I did that when I pitched in high school. Didn't work out for me as good as it did for Cortez, but speeding up the game, that's another one of his crafts that works.
Yeah, he's the whole package, and it took him years to develop, and I think the Yankees really found something with him, and I think they knew what they had in him, and they knew what it could be. And right now, Nestor, Cole's having a great year, and Sevy's having a great year, but I think right now Nestor's probably number one.
Yeah, he's leading the MLB in ERA right now.
Yeah, if we were in a playoff game right now, Nestor Cortez is my guy.
Exactly.
Cole's coming along. Cole's looking really good.
I still think Cole be in the top finish.
Yeah, he'll be in the top Cy Young.
3 for Cy Young at the end of the year.
And I really hope that Cortez can hang in there and come in somewhere in the top 5.
But they got to give Cortez run support.
Yeah, they do.
He's
pitching to small margins right now.
It's crazy. He already has a loss.
Yeah.
He has one loss on the season.
Yeah, I think it was a 2-run game, wasn't it?
Yeah. The guy barely gives up. Run and a half a game. His ERA is like 1.4, 1.3. And he still lost the game, and he's only 2-1 because they don't score when he's pitching.
Yeah, that's true. And, I think that the run support is probably the biggest thing for him right now in order to get wins. But I don't think that the Yankees care about wins. I don't think any team really in the major leagues right now really cares about wins. I think it's much more about just the performance of what's happening on the mound. I don't think they care about wins. They're worried more about pitch counts, and they don't care if a guy goes 6 or 7 innings anymore.
No,
they want to get as much out of him as possible.
Back when I was a kid, Randy Johnson, Clemens, it was a race to 20. What pitcher in the major leagues was going to get 20 wins?
Yeah, that was a big deal.
The last couple of years, I don't have the stats in front of me, but maybe a couple have gotten to 20.
Yeah.
Last year, Robbie Ray won the Cy Young. He had 14 wins. 14 or 15.
Yeah, when we were kids, the Cy Young winner with 14 wins, it's not possible. You had to be a 20-game
Exactly.
winner.
But they don't care about wins. It's ERA and everything else. It's all the other stats. They don't care about the wins anymore.
No, they don't care, and I understand why. I understand why they don't care. I mean, they just want the whole goal of the game today is just get the starting pitcher out of there and get to the bullpen. Because the bullpens are so strong now, and especially the Yankees bullpen. But if they can get 6 or 7 innings out of Cortez and Cole and Severino every time they go out on the mound, the Yankees are going to be in really good shape. There's a feeling right now, this really, every time you watch a game, you expect them to win. You don't expect them to lose.
You don't expect them to lose.
No, you turn on the game, you're like, okay, we're going to win today, and if they don't win, it's kind of a shocker. But even the other night when they lost with Chapman on the mound, well, they didn't score, they really didn't score any runs that game. They didn't get any hits that game.
No, they should have lost that game.
Yeah, they should have lost that game. They deserve to lose that game.
But they still found themselves having a chance in the ninth
exactly.
inning.
Yeah, they did have a chance, but you can't play games on, 1-run margins all the time and then just stick your closer out there and think that you're going to find ways to win. You have to have hits. You have to score runs. And, occasionally the bats go silent, for a day or two. And they went a little cold in the Chicago series after the big explosion they had there in the 15-run game. But I think that they're on the right path right now, and this definitely feels like a championship caliber team.
It does.
Yeah, whereas as last year we were watching a team that felt like the whole year that they were just
trying to make it into the wild card.
Trying to make it into a wild card. It didn't feel like a championship.
That could change. I mean, it could change this year if Judge or Stanton, one of them gets hurt or, one of the pitchers goes down. It could easily, start a slide and they could find themselves fighting for the wild card. But to get games, most major league players will tell you, the first 50 games don't really matter. As long as you're within a couple games, 5-6 games of the first place team, you have a shot. Yes, you do, but a lot of teams, the teams that start out hot, always start to slide. At some point in the season, you're going to have a rough stretch.
You're going to, yeah.
And when you're leading the league, when you're leading your division with a 4.5 game lead after 30 games, that's a good spot to be in.
It's a great spot to be in. I think the Yankees this year really want to go into the end of September having the division clinched. They don't want to be playing up until the 162nd game like they were last year.
Exactly.
Into the 9th inning where Judge hit the walk-off to go into the playoffs. But I mean they fought for every inning of last year to try to get to that point.
And Tampa and Toronto aren't going anywhere.
No, it's not.
The Red Sox were in that talk at the beginning of the season. After 2 weeks, they're out.
Yeah.
But you never know with them. But Tampa and Toronto aren't going anywhere. And I still think it's going to be pretty close to the end. But this beginning of the season, the first 30, 35 games, is if the Yankees end up winning that division, that's going to be why.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen Tampa enough to know, how they're playing ball yet. But they're gonna start showing up on the schedule here pretty soon, and we'll have a lot of series with them. And hopefully we can. Those are the series we have to win. Those are must-win series. And
exactly. I mean, if it comes down to Yankees in Toronto at the end of the season, and the Yankees win, we're gonna look back on the first 6-7 games they played them in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Toronto's gonna look back at those games and say, "Wow, we underperformed in those series, and it cost us." But it's you never know how the season's gonna play out. Anything can happen. But right now, I think the Yankees are in a really good spot.
So do I.
Deep to left field. Going back, Cabrera. Looking up. See ya. He's done it. Home run number 50. No rookie has ever hit 50 home runs in a season till now. Bases loaded. The pitch to Stan. Swung on and drilled deep to left field.